going to put some more glue on and put it here, and then you can spread it out from there. So I want to fill this gap in here first. So I'm going to just take a little bit and make sure this is wet. The glue underneath is still wet, so it's okay to put wet new glue on top of old glue, but only when it's still wet. And then put some of these in to start the long leaves of the snowdrops. Again, don't forget your tweezers, they're invaluable when you're dealing with tiny bits. Now that's rocking for some reason. I don't know what the problem is. There may be a splinter under there. Again, I'm going to get my little stick in there and see what's happening. Can't see anything, but they don't have to be very big to cause a problem. So you can dip this into the glue. And far too much, just dab it off. Put it in like that. And then I've got this area here. Take a piece of this. Okay, I'm going to put the snowdrops here. So, bigger brush, and you can see my bumblebee's got knocked out of place there. There's quite a big gap. So I'm going to take that piece out, clean off the dry glue, and stick him back down. While it's out of place, I might as well spread all the glue for the snowdrop leaves. When you're working, if you see a little bit of dry glue like that, just take it out, get rid of it. A little bit there as well, that can go up there. And do clean your brush off every now and again, otherwise it gets really clogged up on the end with dry glue. But when you're pulling the glue off, make sure there's no splinters in it. Okay, so that's better to use. Okay, this is ready, this area here, so I'm going to start firstly with my bumblebee back in place. Oop. There he goes. And then I'm going to start adding some of these leaves. And trim to fit in as you go along. And put that one there and trim that. So you can lay it over the top. You can have it a bit higher if you want. And you use your pen to mark where you need to cut it. Use the nippers to take that out. Make sure there's enough glue to go all the way to the top. In this case there isn't, so you can just add a bit extra on the end of that. And then put that in place there. Okay, just keep going until you've got a few of these pieces in. Actually that one's got an air bubble under it, so I'm going to put extra glue under that one because the glass may be slightly textured, which is causing, or rippled, which is causing an air bubble, and I want that filled in. So take off any excess glue that's on the side where you've just pushed it down, pop that back on, and then put a bit of extra glue here. And you can load it up on the back, but not too much, otherwise it'll go everywhere when you push it down. There we go. This is a bit on there, but not piled high. Let's see if we've got it this time. There we go. Okay, got rid of that air bubble I didn't like. I'm going to trim this here. Do the the other way. That's it. Oop, now, again, a splinter's gone over here, so try not to cut over your work, or you can get splinters in which you can barely see. That will cause you trouble while you're working. And spread a bit more glue there. Some of them, if they're red, you can see them, or if you're a dark colour. There we go. Okay. And again, this one's going to go here, and I'm going to trim here and here. So, cut it there and there. Don't think there's enough glue under there, so again I'm going to lift it. It's not feeling stuck down enough, so dip it into the glue. And as you can see, I've got far too much on there now, but just tap it down, take off the excess. There's a bit of dry glue there that I'll take off. There you go. And we will put our first snowdrop stalk in. I'm going to add some glue here for our first snowdrop flower to go in. Because they're so tiny, you don't need to keep them on the paper to stick them down. You can just peel the petals off individually and put them into place. It's only when you have large multiple petal flowers that you need to keep them on the sticky paper. Now that you've got your snowdrops in place, you need to fill all this background in. Try to choose contrasting greens to what you have here, either in cut, size or colour. You can still add more stalks and things, it just makes it look busier. A lot of people say they have trouble using the silicone because it gets in such a mess. The secret is basically don't use too much, and it's a tricky combination between too much and too little. But in time, you will work out the right quantities for what you're doing. You need enough just to bed the glass in, but not so much so that it oozes all over the top. Otherwise, all of this will be covered in glue and you'll have a lot of cleaning to do at the end, which is a pain. And again, if you need glue, just dip in, tap it off, and then put the piece in where you need it. Little area there. So I've got some gaps I want to look at. That one there, this little bit here, here, and here, but otherwise the rest are probably okay. And again, you can add some millefiori in there, small pieces of this, which will help fill in. You can add specks of other colours in amongst the leaves. It shows that the snowdrops are growing in front of other flowers of different colours. There's a long bit there, a little bit of glue there I want to spread out. Yep. See what I can find to go in there. Got this nice fiery red piece. Okay, so checking my gaps. I mean, you've got little gaps like this, but that's okay because the grout will darken that and help to give it more definition with the light and dark. So Now we need to take out this glue here because next we're going to be doing daffodils.